Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and competition is a vastly important thing in nearly every industry. But in entertainment, it can really create an air of drive for excellence that can create some incredible products. As long as this competition is set around creating good quality and not around out virtue signaling each other, it can really push these Hollywood studios to create something amazing. And we've seen that several times throughout history, but there's a competition going on currently that I am all for. Now, I'm not really a fan of any of these Hollywood studios. I'm not rooting for one above the other. I just hope that this competition can inspire a drive for excellence among all three of these studios. Now, those three studios are Netflix, Amazon, and HBO. Now, this is the first shot fired by Netflix, just kind of a casual, oh yeah, that's what's up. And I really respect them for it. It was kind of a Chad move. We've got this article here from the Business Insider that says Netflix threw shade at HotD and Rings of Power with a chart showing Dahmer surpassing them all in Google Trends. Now, I use Google Trends a lot on this channel. I really like how it doesn't show positivity or negativity. It just shows general engagement, and that's more reflective of the view count that a lot of these shows are getting and then the money that is coming from those view counts. So it just kind of gauges what the back end of these studios is seeing way more than just, hey, a lot of people watching it, but they're all hating it. It kind of just gets rid of the argument around it and just says, hey, this is how many people are talking about it. This can really reflect into numbers very, very well. So I really am a big fan of Google Trends, and it's a very interesting chart that they have here. Now, I haven't seen Dahmer. I'm not particularly interested in it. I'm not big into the serial killer aspect of it. But the interesting thing about Dahmer is it has a quite higher female audience because a lot of women are very fascinated with serial killers. I don't understand it, but out of the three shows, and two of them were specifically designed to take male franchises and make them more attractive to women, the one that was always attractive to women is far out surpassing them. And I think that's a very, very funny thing to see, regardless of the quality of these shows involved. It's just an interesting thing to see. And I probably still won't watch Dahmer, but this makes me want to do it because of how Netflix is reacting to this whole situation. It just feels kind of Chad. Now, this Google Trends chart that they put out was released to shareholders last week, according to an insider, and it's just a funny little chart that I really, really enjoy. Now, this article does go into the binge model quite a bit, and I will give my opinions on that in a moment, but it's just House of the Dragon is doing incredibly well, and then there's that Dahmer spike, and that is just impressive, well above House of the Dragon, and House of the Dragon is already doing phenomenal. That is insane. Now, this doesn't include the last 2 weeks, I believe, so it'd be interesting to see how far Dahmer has dropped, because the binge model is kind of it happens and then it's over type mentality. It's good for an initial spike, but it doesn't have long-term longevity. So I'd like to see a competition between House of the Dragon and Dahmer in the long run, because in a sprint, Dahmer's going to win, but in a marathon, House of the Dragon might win. That's the argument between the binge model and the week-to-week schedule that I think is interesting, that can be exemplified here. But regardless, Dahmer crushed both of them. Both of them soundly, doubling nearly what House of the Dragon got at its premiere, and that's a very impressive thing. However, since this initial Google Trends was released, it's not just Google Trends that is proving that Dahmer is crushing both HBO and Amazon so soundly, but we also now have the Nielsen data for Dahmer and these other shows. It's insane. Dahmer dominates Nielsen's US streaming chart as House of the Dragon leapfrogs the Rings of Power, and I'm not calling it Lord of the Rings because it is not Lord of the Rings, and this comes from Deadline, but they have the actual Nielsen numbers down here, and it is just freaking insane. Dahmer got 3.6 billion minutes watched. That is insane! That is absolutely bananas how massive that is. And then even Cobra Kai is getting 1.1 billion. Also Netflix beating out these other studios soundly. That is 1.1. I know everyone loves Cobra Kai. I'm not a super big fan. I think it's fine, but that is an insane number. I can't believe that it's that high. And then HBO comes in with the third place with House of the Dragon with just over 1 billion minutes watched. And that is really, really impressive. Now, the Rings of Power is less than a billion. Less than a billion. Now, that's not terrible. It's really not terrible. And this is for the first 3 weeks after those last numbers that we saw. So this would be about episodes 4 through 6, maybe 3 through 6. So this doesn't include the finale of the Rings of Power yet. That's another month out. They kind of do a month at a time. So it's still not great for the Rings of Power, especially considering where it supposedly started out in the Nielsens and what was reported by Amazon itself. But Dahmer is just crushing it. So I definitely need to watch Dahmer after all of this because it is resoundingly destroying them in Google Trends, in Nielsen data, and Netflix is just being chat about it, and that's something that I can really respect. And so this competition is very real, and Netflix is winning with the top 1 and 2 spots in this race, and hopefully this inspires HBO and Amazon to really pick up their game. And this is very important to Netflix currently because this is the first time Netflix has avoided its third straight quarter of subscriber losses in quarter 3, adding over 2 million subscribers and beating its forecast of 1. So yeah, Netflix has been struggling for a little while with subscriber counts, a lot of people going downhill, and now they've started to gain back again, and this is kind of a, hey, we're back, baby. And they're still the juggernaut regardless, and still beating out these other studios soundly, but it's still an interesting competition to have. I don't really care if one wins above the other. I don't care in the end what happens, but it's nice to see that their studios themselves are acknowledging that this is a competition, and hopefully this will inspire all 3 of these studios to drive and push themselves to be better and better. And at the end of the day, it's an all-win scenario if that is the outcome from this entire situation, this competition that I hope will truly be birthed between these 3 studios and many, many more. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.